Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Who was expecting Bitcoin going beyond 31,000 yesterday? Well, the Asian market guys proved to be active overnight. Titan of Crypto pointing this out, okay? Bitcoin bouncing from the second floor. As expected, BTC respected the market structure. What he's looking at here is this, guys. Second retest after we did see this move down, guys. The first retest was over here. Of course, everything before that occurred in early 2023 as we saw the market go up. But these corrections, we saw that second retest happening over the last several months. And now, guys, it's looking as though Bitcoin's moving its way up. I mean, we could see some retracements before that. Don't forget, April 2024 is the Bitcoin halving date. So, generally what we see is bullish activity after that particular point. So the second floor held pretty well. Do you think a head and shoulders pattern is forming, or is this just going to continue to make its way up? So guys, we've got Bitcoin here blasted past 29,900, that price label that I put on the chart yesterday, and now we're trading at about 30,500. We did go as high though as 30,900, or almost $31,000. I think it was actually 31,000. If I were to correctly measure this, the high, 30,988. You guys look up there to the OHLC, the open, the high, the low, and the close. You can see the high there was 30,988, so almost $31,000 per BTC. Blockchain backer also noticing something interesting. If Bitcoin is able to maintain these prices for the rest of today, it will close above the 50-week moving average, the 100-week moving average, and the 200-week moving average, respectively. So you guys can see that there. Bitcoin sharp move to the upside, blasting past all these moving averages. So did we see that occur? Well, it looks like we did, but we did get rejected at $31,000 here. Let me put Bitcoin here on the hourly, and this goes without saying. We have to retrace at some point, otherwise the trend would not be considered healthy. So, I'm kind of happy to see a bit of a retracement here back to 30,500 after we did see roughly $31,000. Now, zooming out again, let me go back to the daily, 31,000 here, bringing us roughly to about this peak up here. So you guys can see we did see that top back in April 2023. We did go past that though in the summer before this sharp move down. We should be looking at this with caution though. Crypto traders urge caution as Bitcoin price hits 3-month high near $31,000. Now, what should we be worried about? It looks like it's a pretty safe bet, right? Well, data from Cointelegraph, Market Pros, and TradingView showed Bitcoin price adding momentum. It did reach 30,944 on Bitstamp particularly. The largest cryptocurrency saw its first weekly close above $30,000 since the summer, going on to tackle levels closer to key long-term resistance. This included the 2023 high, currently at 31,800. So Bitcoin is back at key resistance for the third time in 6 months. Popular trader Gel responded, "Time to be cautious, but I don't think you want to be bearish here just because we're reaching resistance. The level will eventually give in, and the move will be explosive." So she is saying tick-tock. It's only a matter of time before we get above that level. Analyst Matthew Hyland suggested that Bitcoin has already been primed for another move higher, with the market showing similarities to just before the year-to-date high. So he's saying all signs for this Bitcoin rally were there, 26,005 and now 30,008. So he's just noting that on the chart. Price testing key HTF resistance area again. This is from another user on the X platform. However, if price pulls back, we'll be looking for continuation signals around 29,005 to the 28,007 area. So, looking at the smaller price movements, when we look at the chart day to day, it's easy to kind of find ourselves in that trap. But, if we're holding these types of cryptocurrencies long term, the day to day really doesn't matter. Getting up above 31,800, I think, is the key moment for us at this point. We still could get a serious rejection at 31,800, but we're going to have to wait and see still before that occurs. Now, Morgan Stanley believes crypto winter is over. Bitcoin halving will kick off a new bull run. Guys, this is coming from a big bank. This is what they are saying. So some serious words here from Morgan Stanley. Wall Street giant Morgan Stanley believes that crypto winter is over and Bitcoin's next halving will kick off a new bull run as it has in the past. In a recent report titled, "Will Crypto Spring Ever Come?" the bank's wealth management division delved into a 4-year cryptocurrency cycle and the significance of Bitcoin's halving events on market cycles in shaping the crypto landscape. So guys, the big money is catching on. Morgan Stanley's analyst Denny Galindo wrote this: signs indicate that crypto winter, Bitcoin's cyclical bearish market decline, may be in the past. Galindo began by drawing a parallel between a 4-year cryptocurrency cycle and the year's 4 seasons. He detailed the distinct phases of the crypto cycle, with each phase bearing a resemblance to a season. According to the report, the summer phase commences with the highly anticipated halving event, where the rate of new Bitcoin creation is slashed in half. Historically, this phase has been marked by substantial price increases in Bitcoin. It typically culminates when Bitcoin surpasses its previous all-time high, sparking euphoria in the market. After reaching a new high, Bitcoin garners media attention, attracts new investors, and piques the interest of businesses. All sound familiar to you? I don't know how long you guys have been in the market, but this is exactly how the cycle kicks off. So, it is fairly predictable. And to maximize profits this cycle, I am switching things up. I'm diversifying my portfolio. You can find me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if you guys are interested in following the trades that I'm making this time around. But I'm also holding a large portion of XRP, and that's obviously, one of my bigger holdings. So the price targets exiting this crypto bull run are going to be very, very important. So this analyst from Morgan Stanley, let me reiterate that, guys, because this is not just some Twitter analyst. These guys are now super focused, laser focused on the crypto market, and they're noticing these trends. Galindo said historically, most of Bitcoin's gains come directly after the halving event that occurs every 4 years. So the last halving event was May 2020. This halving event, April 2024. And the big money knows this. Even BITRUE's come out and said, are we ready to send XRP to the moon? And BITRUE is the exchange, the exclusive exchange, actually, at this point in time, that I'm trading on at my Patreon, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I'm going to be purchasing all my positions through the BITRUE exchange, but, a lot of these coins are also available on other exchanges. And BITRUE, very XRP-centric. They've got a lot of XRP pairings. I do wish to, maybe have a partnership with them someday. Let me bring up XRP here, guys. XRP has seen a little bit of bullish activity, albeit, not too much. I mean, the altcoins are not faring as well as Bitcoin at this moment in time. Bitcoin has to do its thing before we really get up off the ground. XRP trading just under 53 cents right now. We got the total market cap up to 1.16 trillion. So slowly creeping up. 24-hour volume is down about 10.4%. And Bitcoin dominance still at 51.5%. So over half. Bitcoin up 2.24%. We got Ethereum up as well, 2.52%. As of the time of this recording, we got BNB coin up 2.58, XRP up 2.38. So we're seeing some gains for the altcoins, but it's kind of all over the map. Altcoins are gaining a little bit. So following Bitcoin, but really the leader is Bitcoin, and all eyes are focused on Bitcoin getting above 31,800. And as I said, it's trading right now 30,500. And sentiment is neutral. As you guys can see, we are moving fairly fast on sentiment. It feels like only 2 weeks ago we were in the 30s. Now we're at 55. So there's even more positive sentiment right now in the crypto space. And guys, if you've been following the ETHgate scandal and the XRP community sleuths, you probably know that there is a bit of a spat in the space between Steven Narioff and Charles Gasparino. Even the Crypto Basic picked up on this. Heated debate starts as Ethereum specialist questions Fox's Gasparino on SEC corruption probe. So Steven Narioff makes fresh claims about the SEC's corruption, highlighting the potential role of Fox's Charles Gasparino in protecting the identities of corrupt officials. Early Ethereum advisor Steven Narioff has been in the spotlight over the weekend following a recent allegation about the SEC's corruption. Interestingly, he drew attention to the potential role played by Charles Gasparino in concealing the identities of corrupt officials at the SEC. Let me scroll down here. Yesterday, we also did get news that Elon Musk and Mark Cuban may jointly file a shared amicus brief to the U.S. Supreme Court about the SEC, against the SEC rather. In the wake of the billionaire investors filing a joint amicus brief in the case, former Ethereum advisor Steven Narioff highlighted the importance of an army in the fight against the SEC. So ultimately, just kind of, speaking to this narrative, we do need an army to fight the monster that is this regulator. So he called on top crypto enthusiasts, especially XRP community members, to help him get Musk and Cuban's attention. And so Steven Narioff said an army would be useful right now. Elon's building a case of corruption at the SEC. We have an unprecedented one. I have proof ready to go. He was specific in another post. Let's blast this out to Elon Musk and Mark Cuban or an influencer that can get their attention. XRP Army, let me click on that. XRP Army, he says. Oh, okay, and then he's just tagging everybody here on Twitter to get the word out. Okay, so then there's the other part of this. Ethereum Insider calls out Fox's Gasparino. During the discussion, Narioff called out Fox business journalist Charles Gasparino, asking whether he shut down his colleague Eleanor Turret to protect those involved in alleged SEC corruption. Here's the quote, guys. This gave me an opportunity to call out Charles Gasparino and ask him if he shut down Eleanor Turret to protect people involved with the corruption. Furthermore, he asserts that any media outlet suppressed to protect corrupt officials who wrongly prosecuted him and Ripple will be exposed. Per Narioff, it will be scandalous for Fox Business if it chooses to protect former SEC Chair Jay Clayton. So he was accusing Charles Gasparino of protecting Jay Clayton. Well, Charles did come out and said, publishing this lie is slanderous. I would sue this moron. Wow. Except he's so friggin' dumb. His conspiracy theory is so idiotic, there would be no damages. And then, yeah, sad, huh? But Narioff responded, Charles Gasparino, I very much welcome a lawsuit. Just keep in mind, you and your attorney get sanctioned if it was purely frivolous and you knew it wasn't true, but you would never sue me because I would get access to complete discovery of your records. Checkmate. You'd get mine too, and I'm great with that because as the government found out, I'm clean, hence why they had to fabricate a crime. If you're good with that, I'll waive the sanctions and let's have a lawsuit. I'm really very eager for someone to sue me, but nobody will because anything I say is truth with backup documentation, or like in your case was a question. A lawsuit would allow me to do depositions and discovery, and that's the last thing anyone wants from me. Meantime, but let this friggin' dumb moron who happens to be a lawyer who just beat multiple federal agencies. So let me help you out on this. This is not legal advice. You would need to sue me for defamation. Number 2, plus you're confused. It's libel, not slander. Publishing lies about someone is libel. Speaking them is slanderous. Surprised a big-time legitimate journalist like you doesn't know the difference. Wow. Number 3, plus the standard for defamation for a famous public figure like yourself is if a false statement is made about a public figure, an actual malice standard applies. The defendant is at fault and liable for defamation only for knowingly making a false statement or for acting with reckless regard in determining whether or not the statement is true. He goes on here. There's only a couple more. Number 4, one more thing, legal beagle. You contradicted yourself with the damages thing. I think you're saying I accused you of something which isn't true. I didn't accuse you of anything. I questioned you in an open forum, but if you were right, what you're claiming is exactly why there would be damages. You can have your attorney figure it out from there. And 5, interesting thing is I didn't say you did anything. I said you want to know if you did. So this whole defamation thing is moot, but your reaction certainly personally confirms the answer one way for me at least. I think someone who didn't do anything improper would just say that instead of immediately threatening to sue. So may this friggin' dumb moron ask you a question that I probably just don't understand due to my intellectual limitation. I asked a couple of questions. All you had to say is you didn't crap down Eleanor Turret and you're not protecting anyone who may have been involved in government corruption. This should be an automatic response from any legitimate journalist, assuming they're true, but instead you deflect and never deny. This is very telling. So the gloves have come off. Charles Gasparino did respond here with a pretty lame response. Burden of proof is on you. That's how libel and slander work. Moron. Sad. Ha! I still can't believe he says that and is serious. So Charles Gasparino now once again being attacked by the XRP community. Of course, the XRP community standing up for Steven Narioff. Guys, I guess this is just the beginning of another spat here, but I guess we will see what transpires from this. So some interesting news. Wanted to thank Steven Narioff and, of course, Charles Gasparino for the humorous response. Michael Branch here posting this. Okay, kind of back to the banking sector. We kind of got a little off track. I didn't realize I would actually be talking about the Gasparino-Narioff story for this long. So back to the banking sector, Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. $44.3 billion have exited Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and BNY Mellon in 3 months as deposit flight refuses to relent. Guys, you know what this is spelling? Less people are depositing in major banks. According to the Bank of America's most recent quarterly earnings press release, the lender's average deposits fell about $1 trillion on June 30th to $980.1 billion by September 30th, a reduction of almost $26.2 billion in 3 months. Meanwhile, deposits at BNY Mellon dropped by about $15.1 billion over the same period, and Morgan Stanley depositors pulled out $3.05 billion from $348.5 billion at the end of quarter 2. So Bank of America, BNY Mellon, and Morgan Stanley are not the only financial giants to see huge declines in deposits. This article is also noting that JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, and Citi collectively recorded $84.5 billion in deposit outflows from quarter 2 to quarter 3 of this year. Guys, you know what this means? Less people are, well, first of all, less people are trusting banks. And in this case, these are all American banks. So less people are trusting the American banking institution. More people are probably realizing, okay, we should maybe hedge our bets, put our money somewhere else. So I don't know if this correlates with gold sales, silver sales going up, cryptocurrency sales going up. I mean, we know crypto is already very popular with millennials and Gen Z, but are there other demographics that are now deciding, okay, less money is going to my banker and more money is going to be invested in other alternatives? That said, these are traditional banking institutions, so could people be placing their money somewhere else where they know it's safe, but also where they can keep it and possibly use it down the road and transact on a DLT platform, perhaps not banking related? That could be an ISO 20022 compatible platform. We just don't know. There's just not enough information to suggest this. But guys, this is the first clue here. Less deposits, okay, a flight of money from traditional banking institutions. Which brings me to this, guys, from ISO 20022. Let's do it here. Crypto that participated in ISO will emerge from cryptocurrency bubble. This is a thesis paper, okay? So a scholarly paper making a ripple, XRP, cryptocurrencies participating in the ISO 20022 payment ecosystem for international transactions. Now, this is from June 2022. So a paper that came out last year by Morgan Welling. But here is the hypothesis, and maybe this is actually coming to fruition, considering that we're seeing, the traditional banking sector slowly decline. And I guess I should also add, too, that this is, part of, or could be part of that controlled demolition, the Great Reset, that the powers that be have been planning for all these years. Let me get back to this, though, okay? The abstract, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. International banks and businesses communicating in different languages must be able to send payment information to one another in a seamless, uniform system. This requires financial institutions from around the world communicating in a common language. Today, the emerging standard for sending international payments communication is ISO 20022. And as you guys know, the ISO 20022 standard is, the deadline for implementation. A lot of these banks are going to be implementing this by November 2023, and I believe the final deadline is by 2025 at some point. But this goes on to say the ISO system allows financial institutions to share enhanced payment information more quickly, improving the customer experience. Now, guys, listen to this part here. Until recently, the ISO payment system precluded cryptocurrencies from participating. The release of the digital token identifier standard transformed that, allowing cryptocurrencies to be recognized as legitimate currency under the ISO system. So first of all, that is huge for the cryptocurrencies that are going to transform the financial system, like XRP, like XLM, and a handful of others. I'm not going to rattle them all off, but I think you guys get the point here. Cryptocurrencies accepted into the ISO payment system will gain the ability to be utilized in international transactions between financial institutions. We know that. And as a result, ISO recognized cryptocurrencies will achieve higher trading volumes. So guys, when we look at XRP today at 53 cents, volume down here, as you guys can see, very, very low. Even if we compare this, we zoom out, let me just get back here and let me just show you guys where we were in terms of volume when we did see that price hike for XRP. I don't know if you guys, let me punch in there. You can see how high that volume was when XRP hit that inter-year high of $1.96. Volume was high. A lot of people were trading cryptocurrencies at this point in time, and since then, volume has declined. And volume's really, really low right now. If you guys look there at the left side of the screen, you guys can see this is just the daily. So I'm just scrolling over each volume bar here and showing you guys what the daily volume is, at least for XRP. Over here, you can see, some days it's red, some days it's green, but ultimately, even on a high day recently, we can't really even breach 20 million. So again, this is a spec market. This is what volume looks like in a spec market. In a down market, when not a lot of people are trading cryptocurrencies, we're just not seeing that large volume. We're just not seeing the large volume bars. However, with ISO 20022, these recognized cryptocurrencies will achieve higher trading volumes, an historical problem preventing cryptocurrencies from gaining widespread acceptance. Therefore, he concludes by saying cryptocurrencies that participate in the ISO system will emerge from the cryptocurrency bubble victoriously. So how do I read that, guys? Eventually, when these ISO cryptos come into their own and we see the real world utility, this volume is going to be off the charts while the rest of the crypto market is still going to be trading speculatively, which means the price for coins like XRP, XLM, and all those other ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrencies are likely going to shoot up, while the rest of the market may see ebbs and flows during a bull cycle. But ultimately, guys, in a spec market, we will continue to see the same thing. The prices will not be sustained. It will only be the utility coins that will sustain these high prices, at least according to this scholarly hypothesis. So I wanted to thank ISO 20022, Let's Do It Here, for his insight on cryptocurrencies like XRP. I mean, he's speaking specifically about XRP in this paper, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.